Every car wash chain has the same bet baked into its books, and it has nothing to do with how clean your car gets. It's the same bet a gym makes every January sign enough people up. And most of them will keep paying without ever showing up. Car washes just found a way to bet on something you were already going to buy anyway. And they built it so smoothly that most members will tell you, it's a great deal. They're not wrong. That's what makes it interesting. You pull up to an express tunnel, pay $12 for a single wash, and the guy at the register offers unlimited for $8 more a month. You do the math, wash your car even twice a month and the membership pays for itself. So you sign up. On that logic, you're right, it's a good deal for a version of you that washes the car regularly. That version of you is not who the business is underwriting. The industry's own numbers show a typical member washes 3 to 4 times a month. At the a la carte price, that's real value, more than the membership costs. So where is the bet? The bet is on the members who wash 0 times some months, and don't cancel. Nobody rushes to cancel a $25 charge. It's small, it's automatic, it renews itself before you've thought about it once, and the mental effort of logging in and hitting cancel is worth more to most people than the $25 itself. The Wash Club doesn't need you to use it. It needs you to forget. You're paying for it. That's not a criticism of clean cars. It's the shape of the revenue. Hold on to that, because it explains everything that comes after. Once you see that shape, the rest of the business rearranges itself around it. Because a car wash chain that is optimizing for members who don't show up is not really in the business of washing cars. It is in the business of collecting a fixed monthly fee against a variable cost that barely moves whether you use it or not. Let's put a number on that variable cost because this is where it gets interesting. A single pass through a modern express tunnel costs the operator somewhere around $2 to $3. Water, reclaimed and recycled through the system, chemicals bought by the drum, and about 90 seconds of labor spread across a handful of staff, who are running 4 or 5 cars at once. That's it. That's the marginal cost of you using the thing you're paying for. Which means the math is almost embarrassing. The company earns real, immediate cash on every non-user, and only pays out that tiny marginal cost on the minority of members who pull into the lane. Recurring revenue on top of near-fixed cost is the most valuable shape a business can take. And it is exactly the shape lenders and private equity firms have spent the last decade hunting for. Here's the second thing. Almost nobody clocks when they're standing at that register. Membership penetration, the percentage of a location's revenue coming from subscribers rather than one-time customers, is now the single number that determines what a car wash location is worth when it changes hands. Not how clean the cars come out, not customer satisfaction, membership share. Chains with 60 to 75% of sales coming from monthly members trade at a completely different multiple than chains still relying on walk-up traffic, because walk-up traffic depends on weather, and weather is the one variable nobody in this industry can smooth out. A rainy month used to mean a bad month. Now a rainy month just means fewer people redeem a membership they're still paying for, which, if you're the owner, is not actually a bad month at all. Strip away the foam and the hoses, and what's being sold is a subscription base dressed up as clean cars. Which raises the obvious question, who's buying it? Private equity is buying it, aggressively. As recently as a few years ago, the US car wash industry was almost entirely mom and pop, roughly 85% independently owned, one location, maybe 2 run, by someone who also fixed the vacuum hoses himself on a Sunday. That kind of fragmentation is exactly what institutional money looks for, because it means there is nobody big enough to say no to a buyout, and it means the same playbook can be run hundreds of times over. Buy the independent operator, convert his transactional customers into subscribers, standardize the equipment, cut the labor per car, and roll the recurring revenue up into a portfolio that can be sold again, at a much higher multiple to the next fund. Mr. Car Wash, the country's largest chain by unit count, now pulls close to 3/4 of its total wash revenue from its membership program. That number was closer to 2/3 a few years earlier. The direction of travel is not subtle. Underneath the subscription layer sits a second business that has almost nothing to do with washing cars at all: the real estate. A well-placed express tunnel sits on a high-traffic corner lot, the kind of parcel that would work equally well for a drive-through coffee chain or a pharmacy. When a private equity firm buys a car wash operator, it frequently splits the deal in two. It buys the operating company separately. It sells the land underneath every location to a real estate investment trust in what's called a sale-leaseback, pocketing a large chunk of the purchase price back immediately. In exchange, the operating business commits to paying rent on that land for the next 20 years. The Wash Club member standing in line thinks they're buying a clean car. What they're funding, $125 charge at a time, is the rent on a piece of commercial real estate that someone else now owns outright. I'm not going to hand you a clean villain here though, because the honest version of this story has a second half that complicates it. The subscription model is genuinely a better deal for a lot of drivers than the old system ever was. Before unlimited memberships existed, a wash was a discretionary $12 purchase you made when the car got embarrassing. Now the same driver, on a membership, washes more often, for less money per wash, and the industry has gotten better at what it does. Faster tunnels, better water reclamation, less labor intensity, fewer breakdowns. The customer experience improved. This is not a story about a product getting worse while the price goes up. It's a story about a product getting better, while the business model underneath it stops needing you to use it.